Last year, I racked up $35,000 in credit card debt by going on a lot of trips that I didn't have the money to go on.
Buy now, pay later services are going to have y'all in so much trouble, you're not going to know how to get out. I'm for to sound like the old uncle right now, but I am very concerned about this generation. And
Booking a vacation on Afterpay for a trip where you plan to use your credit card that has a $5,000 credit limit when you have $0 in your checking account and you come home to bills is not the flex that you think it is.
I just saw a report that said 36% of Americans are in travel debt willingly. That literally makes me want to throw up.
I'm not sure if people are living in a completely different economy than I am, or if I don't know. But this lady came on TikTok to share a story of how she booked a trip through Expedia, and the trip was supposed to be $2,000, right? And she did it book now, pay later option. You know what I mean? So she did the book now, pay later option, and then later on find out that the trip is more than what she thought she was going to pay.
So tell me how. I booked a trip through Expedia like in December, right? I did the reserve now, pay later option. I had forgotten how much exactly my reservation was, so I decided to log into my Expedia account to confirm exactly how much my reservation was so that I can, be ready for whenever this trip arrives. I go ahead and check the reservation and I'm like, this price, huh? This price is crazy. I don't think I would have booked this price. Like, I like to splurge, but I know myself and I don't think I would have felt comfortable booking this price. Girl, I go and check my email. I like look for the email confirmation. Why did Expedia double the price on their application? The price in my email confirmation was 2,000 something. On Expedia, my personal account, when I logged in to verify the itinerary, it was 4,000 something. What's going on?
Last year, I racked up $35,000 in credit card debt by going on a lot of trips that I didn't have the money to go on. Now, if you're doing the same thing, this is not a call out, this is a call in. Like, we're gonna come together. My best advice is if you really want to go on this trip, you need to save, you need to go on side hustles, and you need to not buy the most expensive airplane ride or the best hotel or do all of the excursions. You need to get comfortable saying no to some things, which is something I struggle with, okay? Now, we've been able to pay off most of that credit card debt. We're at $7,500, but it's literally taken us 6 months and most of our money to pay the $27,000 we have. Future you is going to have some beef with present you. So let's try to minimize the damage for the future.
How are people doing this? I see people online going on these extravagant vacations and buying expensive things, and I am into my career and have a good job, and instead of going to Europe like I wanted to this summer, I went to the desert and camped on BLM land because it's free with friends, and it was a great time. But how are people doing this? Are you just in mad debt and I don't know about it? What are people doing? Everything is so freaking expensive.
buy now, pay later services are going to have y'all in so much trouble, you're not going to know how to get out. I'm for to sound like the old uncle right now, but I am very concerned about this generation and how they utilize these services. I'm going to go into detail about this topic in my newsletter, but it's so important to me to get this message out that I want to make a video about it right now. These kids are utilizing these services, which that's what they're here for, but you have to use them, responsibly. They're using these services to book so many outlandish flights and trips to places where, we can't even imagine to go, but they're booking these trips with these services and they're going on a trip without it even being paid for and dealing with the repercussions later. This is worse from when we were in high school, and when you graduated, maybe in college, they started sending you out these credit cards and everything, and your parents was like, oh, don't do that. I feel like this is worse. I believe travel is for everyone. I've always had that message. I believe that everyone deserves to travel and experience life outside of their city. But like my mama used to tell me, you don't go nowhere if your bills ain't paid. We need to move from this mindset of thinking what we see on social media is better than the life that we live. Because 9 times out of 10, it ain't really what it's given. Young travel friends, listen, I don't know where your parents at. I don't know what's going on. But if nobody's going to tell you, listen here right now. Don't you try to keep up with the Joneses trying to fly up, fly out, get flued out, pretend like you get these people pretending they get flued out. Just stop. Because you're going to find yourself in a place where you can't get out. And nobody wants to be 10 feet under that. How to get out.
This might be controversial, but I don't see a problem with people using pay later options for traveling, and here's why. Travel has been deemed as a luxury for many for so long now. And I think that especially given today's economy, how are you going to judge somebody and how are you going to tell somebody that they simply cannot afford a vacation simply because they are using the option to pay for it later? This is important because I think that people that get the luxury of traveling, I am one of them. I travel for work. I've traveled internationally on press trips, all expense paid trips. And I am so grateful for that. But I do understand for so many people that just simply is not an option, whether or not it's PTO, whether or not it's financial, but the ability to travel is a luxury. But the fact that this is now an option now opens up the floodgates for other people to experience this. And lastly, I just want to say that this should 1000% be done in moderation. Meaning, if you have Afterpay, Klarna, etc. for a ton of other items, I probably would say you shouldn't do it. But if you are someone who maybe doesn't have any options that are on hold and this is simply just a monthly added bill, and also maybe let's say if you pay it off in advance before you actually go on the trip, whatever is the case, yes, it can be bad for some, but the reality is, and where we are in this economy, if people need this to travel, I think more so this actually shows where we are as a society. And if people need to be paying later for the relaxation and the peace of mind that they need, particularly whenever so many people are dealing with mental health issues, then so be it.
Booking a vacation on Afterpay for a trip where you plan to use your credit card that has a $5,000 credit limit when you have $0 in your checking account and you come home to bills is not the flex that you think it is. Even if you didn't think it was a flex, it's not the wise financial decision that you think it is. 68% of people who lock in and actually pay off credit cards rack those same credit cards back up not even a year later after just having them paid off. It is one thing for us to truly be out here helping people who got into credit card debt and other payday loan, personal loan, and auto loan debt because they actually couldn't help it because they fell on hard times, and those hard times were the end all be all of their financial state moment. But to intentionally know exactly what you're doing because you have bad spending habits, you have to have the latest Jordans, and you have to buy that Fashion Nova car, and you have to buy that Shein car, and you have to have your nails and hair done, and you have to have the out of country trips, and you have to have the cruises here, and you just always have to have. If you're barely affording the rent, then I can guarantee you can't afford those quote unquote cheaper mortgages plus the additional fees that come with even buying a home in the first place. If you are at least 23 years and older and you have even a lick of debt that you owe to someone or something, you need to be binge watching Caleb Hammer's show called Financial Audit. You need to look at a bunch of videos of Dave Ramsey. You need to make sure that the things that you are feeding yourself every single day involve getting out of debt, better finances, budgeting, how to handle cash, how to manage your finances. You need to be binging on those types of things.
Avoid Afterpay. These payment companies, Klarna, Afterpay, all of it, they are there to put you in more debt and to buy more things than what you intended. Because it's all psychological, you guys, all psychological. Because everyone's like, but there's no like big fees and interest and all of it. Listen, when you get to your carts and what you're planning on buying and thinking of the total of probably what it's going to cost, and then you get to see it in a fourth of that payment, and you're like, oh, it's a fourth? That number looks so small to what you were originally going to buy. So you automatically spend more. They know this. Companies know this. They make so much money off of you because of this one marketing tactic. So listen, don't go into debt. It is debt because you're spreading out your payments. Paying for the item, pay for the item in full. be done with it. It's a beautiful thing, and I promise that's going to help your holiday shopping, especially your last minute shopping, like right now, because we're all a little crazy and we're all a little emotional. We're running around and we're urgent, and we can make bad financial decisions when we're in this state of mind. So make your list, pay for it in full with cash that you
I
have.
just saw a report that said 36% of Americans are in travel debt willingly. That literally makes me want to throw up. I talked about this before, and y'all literally dragged me in the comments saying, well, we're going to get into debt anyway, so we might as well have fun while we're doing it, traveling. No matter how much you try to flip this narrative, I'll never get down with this. You should be striving not to be in debt with anything. I don't care what it is. Soon as I saw that trend of people using the buy now, pay later services to book travel, I knew it was a wrap. If you're going to use those services, at least pay off the last trip before you go on the next one. You're setting yourself up for failure. Those services are literally worse than when you remember when we graduated from high school and they were sending out all those credit cards for you to apply for. It was like you're gonna get approved easily. The buy now, pay later services are now that in the modern day. Listen, I love Gen Z. I love y'all thought process and everything, but this, y'all need to go talk to y'all mamas and daddies and get some freaking advice. Because you're going to be real mad when you get older and try to go get a loan for that $30,000 condo you're trying to pay because all the interest rates went all the way down to the ground, and now people are getting all the property for zero on the dollar, but you can't get nothing because you went to Cancun. Went to Cancun and spent almost $20,000 on buy now, pay later credit. Where they do that at?
Just take the vacation, as if they are trying to convince you to do something hard. Taking the vacation is not the hard part. I would love to take a vacation, but what we don't have is all of the extra funds to be able to take the vacation. If you have the money, take the vacation, but I will also say it is not worth it to go into debt for a vacation. So if that's the case, don't take the vacation.
If you don't have the money to pay for it right then and there, you're not supposed to be going on a trip. Why are you putting yourself in debt for a trip? Like, why are people going broke for trips and vacations? All this just so you can take a picture and post it on social media saying that you are out of the country or you are in some exotic place. You know what I mean? Like, I can never understand this. That's what I keep saying. Like, this whole era of social media is going to be the death of a lot of people because people are willing to go broke. People are willing to spend their whole life savings just so they can go to places where they cannot afford for aesthetic for social media. In this economy, $4,000 for a trip, even $2,000 for a trip. Like, how long are you going to stay? Where are you going? Why are people going broke for trips? Why are people doing book now, pay later? I didn't even know that was an option where you can put your trips on payment plans. I didn't know that was an option. Why are you booking a trip and then you're booking in book now, pay later? Girl, if you don't have the money to book and pay for the trip, don't book the trip. Just wait until you have the money. But this is just so ridiculous to me. Like, wow. Let me know what you think about this story down in the comment section below. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video.